Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Helen Liao. Thank you for joining us. Coming up in the show, U.S. Tzu Chi volunteers are conducting large-scale relief distributions in Long Island, Atlantic City, and South Thames River. In the Philippines, Tzu Chi volunteers are holding a charity sale to raise funds for the construction of a Tzu Chi ophthalmology center. And we meet Dr. Hong and his patient, Mr. Tsai, who are walking the Tzu Chi path together. We kick off today's show in New York of the United States. The village of Lindenhurst, situated at Long Island, was one of the worst-hit areas after Hurricane Sandy. On November 10th, Tzu Chi volunteers conducted a large-scale relief distribution here, handing out cash cards to 430 households.
In just 48 hours, Tzu Chi volunteers are ready for a relief distribution at Long Island, New York. On the morning of November 10th, 80 volunteers transported the aid supplies to the disaster area.
Here we are at the distribution venue in Lindenhurst. Many people have showed up to pick up their cash cards and blankets.
Although tired, residents still patiently wait with Tzu Chi's letter of distribution in hand.
Nobody's offered us anything like this.
A young girl came down my block with a letter from this foundation. She gave it to everybody on my block because we were all flooded out. We have no power.
We are holding the aid distribution as we can understand what the disaster victims are feeling. I need to make sure they all get Tzu Chi's letter, or the planning that went on here today will be meaningless.
Tzu Chi volunteers serve people in need in their local communities.
Listening to a volunteer read Master Zheng Yan's letter, many people get emotional.
Thank you so much.
A warm hug from the volunteers is a pillar of support for these people. And as this is their first time in handing out cash cards, every volunteer focuses on their work to make sure the cards are handed out to the right people.
Before, we wondered if these people truly needed Tzu Chi's help, but seeing the cash card handed being worth $200 to $500 and now $600 US, we realized that they really need our help.
You know, a lot of people were reluctant to come here at first because they didn't think it was believable that people were going to be giving them cash to help them out. People finished up, received the donation that you guys were giving them to help them out, and all these people have nothing. They went and talked to their neighbors, family, and friends, and that's why more people came when they realized that it was nice people helping them out in such a bad, hard time.
Money is going to be used to purchase tools so I could get back and help people in our community get back on their feet.
What everybody's doing here builds strength in people, gives people hope. It's very nice.
In the aftermath of the unprecedented disaster, the residents of Long Island are, for the first time, beginning to feel the great love of Tzu Chi.
Tzu Chi volunteers from the New Jersey chapter also carry out relief distributions in the areas South Thames River and Atlantic City. Among the recipients was a Taiwanese lady who had heard of Tzu Chi when she was still living in Taiwan. She had not imagined that the warmth and love she received came all the way from home.
It is 4 a.m. and the sky is still dark, but Tzu Chi volunteers have already loaded the relief supplies, ready to travel to Atlantic City. Arriving at the distribution site, Texas Avenue School, residents were already waiting in line. Here in New Jersey, the sky is blue and the weather has returned to normal. Fortunately, the residents do not have to wait in the cold. In addition to the relief supplies, Tzu Chi volunteers also distributed socks to the residents, knowing that most of them have lost their homes, clothing, and all their belongings.
Well, there is a lot of people that were out of electric and out of gas over here, and their houses were full of water, like 3 feet. And this is very nice of you guys coming out here and helping these guys at the time when they needed the most.
Among the residents receiving the relief aid, many were new immigrants who were not fluent in English, and Tzu Chi volunteers display kindness and patience as they show them how to complete the form.
Why you cry? I'm so happy for the help.
A friend of mine told me about this distribution, but I didn't know that it was Tzu Chi until I came to do the pre-registration yesterday, and I thought to myself, I know of this group.
This resident from Taiwan did not expect that the aid and support had come from back home. Tzu Chi distributed relief aid to 398 households, and not only did the residents take supplies home with them on the day, but also hope to look forward to the future.
In addition to a distribution at Atlantic City, another group of Tzu Chi volunteers from the New Jersey chapter headed to South Thames River to distribute blankets, daily necessities, and 600 worth of cash cards to local residents.
After the snow, the temperature has finally normalized in the state of New Jersey. Tzu Chi volunteers seized the window of good weather and carry out a large-scale relief aid distribution for 500 families at the South Thames River Elementary School. The relief supplies, which have come from Taiwan and the Dallas Tzu Chi chapter, are moved to the gymnasium before the start of the distribution.
Food today, and then we do have the shelters. They can come in and get clothes. Mostly infants. They need blankets, sheets, stuff like that. Diapers, formula. That's a big thing with the infants. We worry about the young ones.
Among those assisting is the principal of South Thames River Elementary, as well as the staff from the local Office of Emergency Management. Although power has resumed to 95% capacity and life for residents is gradually returning to normal, what they still need most is the care and the support from the outside world.
I think just your organization is providing lots of support, lots of love, and I think the people here, I know myself, you don't feel like you're alone. You feel like you have the support of the world, and an organization like yours is just really heartwarming.
What we are packing now are the blankets we received from the Tzu Chi Dallas chapter and the instant dries from the Tzu Chi headquarters in Taiwan. Most importantly, we will be handing out cash cards to the residents. We hope that the relief supplies will help these affected families.
Dear friends, nature is unpredictable and fragile.
After reading a letter of condolence from Master Zheng Yan, the distribution began. The mayor of South Thames River, Joseph Champagne, was also present to encourage local residents.
You are not called the little town with a big heart for no reason, because it is true, you have a big heart. And for that, I love you all. Thank you.
Although disaster victims themselves, local residents acted in an orderly manner while waiting in line to receive their relief supplies, and many did not forget to express their heartfelt thanks to the Tzu Chi volunteers.
I see it on TV where people say, oh, we're going to help, and then actually to see them in different places helping, but to see it firsthand is really a sight to behold, and that's just how I feel. It's a sight to behold, that people actually care, come from around the world to help South Thames River.
A warm heart closes the gap between cultures and religions and inspires great love. Thanks to the blessings and care of many, the residents of South Thames River will be back on their feet in no time.
Staying in the United States, while Tzu Chi volunteers in New York and New Jersey were busy carrying out large-scale aid distributions, their counterparts from all around the country also came together to canvass for donations to help Hurricane Sandy victims.
Standing in front of a supermarket, Tzu Chi volunteers from different regions of the United States are coming together to fundraise to help Hurricane Sandy victims. Despite not being able to join the relief work, volunteers are giving what they can.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
In Columbus, Ohio, volunteers are also taking to the streets to canvass for donations. After doing her shopping, a mother donates her changes and, in turn, sets a good example for her children. Students from the local Tzu Chi Academy and Tzu Chings joined Tzu Chi volunteers in Atlanta, Georgia, at a fundraising event next to a local supermarket. Apart from making donations, many residents also expressed interest in taking part in further volunteer work. The Tzu Dallas chapter did their part by sending 7,000 environmental blankets to the disaster areas. The principal and students of the Barack Obama Male Leadership Academy also joined in the fundraising efforts.
We understand that we, as Americans, will serve brothers and sisters from all countries. So again, we partner with all our brothers and sisters of Suu Kyi from all over the world to support all of the efforts to support the young men and young women who were affected so tragically by Hurricane Sandy.
In San Francisco, Tzu Chi volunteers are in Chinatown to canvass for donations from passers-by. Every sincere bow of gratitude shows their love and support for the disaster victims. Also in California, Tzu Chi volunteer Ling Sanglong, who moved from Canada to Los Angeles, brings her daughter to the fundraising event in hopes of inspiring her to give.
I brought my youngest daughter with me. This recent storm gave us the opportunity to give. I think to be able to give is a blessing. We are glad to help.
Tzu Chi volunteers in Seattle, California's Orange County, and at the Indianapolis Service Center all take to the streets to raise funds.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Hurricane Sandy may have brought severe destruction, however, it also brought out love and care in everyone's heart, and together they hope to make a difference.
Thank you. God bless you. Thank you so much.
Recently, the Philippines Tzu Chi chapter held a two-day charity sale to fundraise for the construction of a Tzu Chi Ophthalmology Center. The first day of the event was joined by more than 20,000 people. To make sure the event runs smoothly, 1,000 volunteers were mobilized. To fundraise for the Tzu Chi Ophthalmology Center, a charity sale is being held at the Philippines Tzu Chi grounds. The event is joined by 140 booths selling various food and items. Volunteers hope to inspire the public to contribute their share to help those in greater need.
To celebrate our anniversary, we decided to hold a charity sale, and all the money collected will go towards the building of the Tzu Chi Ophthalmology Center.
At the charity sale, everyone can see the effort the volunteers have put in to make this event a success. Among the 140 booths is one that sells pineapple cakes. Volunteers flew to Taiwan to learn how to make the sweet and even purchase the needed machinery so they can continue to make the cakes to raise more money in the future. This time, the charity fair was joined by 1,000 volunteers, with half of them being local volunteers and another 300 being Tzu Chi scholarship recipients. To help, 50 Tzu Chi volunteers from Taiwan also flew to the Philippines to participate.
We have 50 Tzu Chi brothers and sisters that flew to the Philippines to attend the event. There are a lot of people today, and I am very happy to witness this special moment.
The first day of the charity sale was joined by more than 20,000 people. Volunteers hope the second day of the event will be even more successful. Today, in our continuing feature series on doctors, we want to share the moving stories of a doctor and his patient. While attending a Tzu Chi training seminar, the patient Cai Jingmi met his doctor Hong Shuo-sui, and they continue to encourage each other to walk on the Bodhisattva path.
Let's bring him on stage so I can show him my appreciation.
The doctor mentioned by Cai Jingming is Hong Shuo-sui, an orthopedic surgeon at Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital. Not only do the two have a doctor-patient relationship, but since they are also in Tzu Chi's volunteers training seminars together, they have also developed a close friendship. Cai Jingming is back at Dr. Hong's office, where the doctor himself changes the bandages around his ankle. Cai Jingming has had large wounds on both sides of his ankles for 8 years. Asking around at different hospitals, he was always told his foot would have to be amputated. It was only the staff at Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital that never gave up.
Under the care of the staff from the hospital's orthopedics, infectious diseases, hematology and oncology departments, and those in charge of my vascular tests, I regained the will to live. I know I couldn't give up on myself because the doctors didn't give up on me.
这样子碰会很痛吗？现在
Hong Shuosui hopes to lessen the pains of patients stricken with severe wounds. When compared with the many patients he has treated, he thinks Cai Jinming is quite strong. He also admires his spirit.
Everybody's goal is the same. We hope we can do something for our community. Although Cai's legs aren't in the best shape, he never shows it. He's still got the heart to do something, even in his condition.
Dr. Hong not only saved a patient's leg, but also revived his heart. Cai Jinming is thankful to Dr. Hong and all the hospital staff for enabling him to walk on his own legs again and in helping him follow the Tzu Chi path.
In Taiwan, the Public Health Department of New Taipei City held its first annual Medical Care Excellence Awards. The purpose of the ceremony was to encourage young doctors to work in New Taipei City. Meanwhile, many doctors were also awarded for their dedication in various medical fields. To acknowledge doctors' commitment to the medical field and encourage young doctors to join their ranks, the Public Health Department of New Taipei City held its first annual Medical Care Excellence Awards.
We hope to remind the public that these doctors deserve our recognition for their selfless giving in remote areas. We should look up to them.
Among the 3,000 clinics and hospitals, Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital was awarded the Special Dedication Award.
The Special Dedication Award encourages us to keep on going. However, it is more important that we continue to do so thoroughly.
Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital Dr. Huang Xuanli and Wu Xingzhi were also awarded for their commitment in the medical field. Team of Dr. Ling Su-zhen, who has been helping patients in remote areas for the past 25 years, was also recognized for her efforts.
I have medical knowledge. Therefore, whenever there is a free clinic, I will participate. It is great that I can help others over the weekends.
The awards not only serve as recognition for doctors' commitment to the medical field, it also encourages them to continue safeguarding the health of the public. In Malaysia, two Tzu Chings volunteered to be the coordinators of the sign language performance of the Sutra of Profound Gratitude towards parents. In the 8 months of preparation, much time and effort was required of them. Nonetheless, they felt it was a blessing for them to be able to contribute.
Okay, then can you two get to the venue on your own?
Soon after Hu Jiajian texts and calls the other members, he has to drive to pick them up.
Now I'm going to pick them up. I haven't eaten dinner yet. Normally I will eat some bread, but I don't have transportation, so if I don't pick them up now, we can't practice today. Try to make your gestures as one. After you get up, turn around, then head back.
Tzu Ching Hu Jiajian is the head of the sign language team. Besides coordinating the team, he still has to deal with a heavy load of schoolwork.
After school, I only have time to practice the sutra with the other Tzu Chings, so I listen to lectures in class attentively to make sure I don't fall behind.
Chen Zijian is the other coordinator who also devotes much of his time to the preparation.
The Tzu Chi aunties, uncles, and alumni are very thoughtful. After working with them for a while, I feel as thoughtful as they are. If there's any affair that I can deal with it on my own, I won't ask others for help.
Unlike normal college students, these Tzu Chings use their inspiration to lead marvelous lives. A year ago, Tzu Chi volunteers began a book club for the inmates at the Pingdong Prison, where they're promoting Jingzi aphorisms as well as the teaching of the Water Repentance Sutra and sign language. For these inmates, they want the world to know that they have truly changed for the better.
The inmates are greeted with a warm welcome from the volunteers as the first rehearsal of the Water Repentance Sutra is about to begin. It is not easy walking in unison, but with the volunteers' guidance, they soon come together. This is also symbolic of the path of life, which all should walk with righteousness and honesty.
All beings have goodness by nature, so we are sharing simple Jingsi aphorisms with them, hoping they will reflect on themselves.
Xu Yuncai of Pingdong's Tzu Chi Teachers Association took the lead and started a book club at Pingdong Prison, teaching inmates Jingsi aphorisms and the Water Repentance Sutra. Through participation in the sign language performance, the volunteers hope that everyone can take the Dharma to heart.
In the beginning, many were curious about the sutra as they thought it was just a performance.
Taking part in the sutra performance was unimaginable for many in the beginning, but after 4 months of studying the sutra and rehearsals, it has turned the lives around for these inmates, as they have come to understand the significance behind the ancient text.
I'm sorry that they always have to wait for me, but they tell me it's okay because we are all one family.
I'm very remorseful of what I did in the past, so when I leave here, I'm going to join Tzu Chi and serve the public.
This inmate is about to be released on parole. Tzu Chi volunteers pay a visit to his family and will guide him in walking the right path.
They want to tell all the Tzu Chi volunteers worldwide that even inmates are able to take the Dharma to heart through sign language.
From reluctance to self-expression, the participation of the Water Repentance Sutra by these inmates has gradually changed their outlook and slowly guided them back on the correct path in life.
Also in Taiwan, beginning from mid-October, Hsinchu Tzu Chi volunteers have been helping care recipient Mrs. Luo renovate her house in Jianshi Township. After half a month, the home of Mrs. Luo has finally completed.
This 40-year-old house is where Mrs. Luo lives. As it is old and lacks indoor bathrooms, Tzu Chi volunteers decided to help Mrs. Luo renovate it.
Everyone will get a mask. Please be careful when you are working in the building.
Roofing, tiling, painting and partitioning are all worked on by Tzu Chi volunteers. To meet the 30-day deadline, some volunteers even come to help on weekdays. After 10 working days, the combined efforts of the volunteers managed to bring the restorations to completion. The volunteers bring second-hand furniture and tangyuan to celebrate with Mrs. Luo.
Wishing you good health and peace of mind. I brought radishes, apples, and oranges for you.
As the new residence is completed, Mrs. Luo now can live in comfort. As well, she vows to follow the Tzu Chi path in helping the needy.
To help Syrian refugees in Jordan, Tzu Chi volunteers have been collecting second-hand clothes that will be shipped to the Arabian country. Now with the clothes ready to go, volunteers in various areas gather together to build the items into containers. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for tuning in. Goodbye.